Rolon, and today I am going to show you how to knit this in all sizes. I will begin by telling you the following information is size is an extra large size. And if you want to make a plus size, I will recommend knitting 6 stitches and an increase. For small and medium size, 7 and an increase. You will see this later. But record it very well, my friends, because it will be useful for you. I am making an extra large size and let's start. You can weave it with cotton, or you can weave it with a material synthetic number 2 and will be lighter. This time I decided to weave it into cotton, which is a little, but at the same time fresher. In this case I have used 2 colors. Remember to use your favorite colors. And the material I am using is from Omega brand. Is Symphony, and remember at home you are going to use the material that fits you close to home. And always the most important, that fits your nurse's needs. Today I will be sharing part number 1. But I leave you here the link, so you can see part number 2. Do you think if we start then we start? For this project I will use this type of material. Uses a material that is of number 2. Let's use number 2 with 3mm hook. In this case you can use any material you have close to home, and most importantly, that fits your nurse's needs. I will see here, so that you can observe it at home. Here begins my centimeter. Here I have 1 and 2 stripes. And I will place the material. For cheese at home, observe about how thick. 2mm, yes, then any number 2 material will work for you. Let's start. We secure our first stitch. 1, 2 and 3 chain stitches. These 3 chain stitches I will not count it. If I'm not going to count them, I'm even going to do just 2 more. 2 chain stitches. I'm going to go through the reverse side. Here on the upside down side. Double chain stitch. And I'm going to start knitting. This is how I lift 1. I close 1. I close 2. And close 3. Down here I am going to stay like this space, as if it were a chain stitch. This space I have here is the one I'm going to take. Then I make a loop. I pass at the bottom. Look at that's how we have it in this little bond. I pass there. I close 1. Close 2 and close 2, 1 loop. Right there where it comes together like this chain stitch. I lift, I close 1. I close 2 and close 2. The barbecue. Right there, look, they are forming like those chain stitches. Step. I close 1. I close 2. And close 2. And I'm going to do this until I get the amount I need. All sizes. Let's leave the same amount of stitches. The only thing that will change is in the next round. Low single stitch. As I told you at the beginning, depending on their size, everyone will leave you with the increase is okay. So if you are an extra large size, you know how much you have to leave. And if anyone missed the beginning, I invite you to return so that they can see how it will be. And here, see how it looks. In the part here, opens a little, and at the bottom, this is a little more closed. Stretch okay. I am going to recommend something else before continuing. If you want your to be light, I will recommend you then tile with synthetic wool. I am using in this case yellow, and yellow is then. You want one light wool, for example. Look, I have here this one. This one I have here is a synthetic wool. Is this brand, and this is lighter. And it can also be useful for our friends who are of Peru, and the Guajira brings 100 G 375 M 440 yards. Yes, then this one. It is super lightweight and can work quite well for them. Aniseed also, for example. And any other material they have close to home. Also the symphony. Nothing but the symphony will make them look heavy. But it is worth it because it is delicious and very fresh. There at home you decide and look at. Then here. This part will be closed and expanded. This is where we are going to put the single stitch. I will complete the amount I need. And below in the description I will leave you with how much the weighs. With all in sleeves, okay. Then for those who want sleeves, leave a like for this video at this time. If you want it with sleeves, leave down here. And if not, I'll just pass them on to you. Without the cuff it looks like. Okay, remember we are watching part number 1. Links and everything you need to know here, click here. Where the title is below says more. I want to show you up to here I have 129 stitches. And I'm going to do the stitch 130, the last stitch we are going to knit it. Let's move on. Is our chain stitch underneath. And we are going to take it to the first space. Where is the chain stitch space? There I am going to close. Or I will pass the first one. I will close too. Number 1 too, because we no longer need the chain stitch, and then I will close 2 more. And here I close with the elided stitch. And so I am concluding a stitch chain. A single stitch in the same space. And I found this little piece of wool. Backwards to lose it. 1. Next. 2. Single stitch trace. 4. And 5 is 5 single stitch. I will see if you can see better. And in number 6 I make an increase 1. And 2. And I repeat 1. 2, 3. 4, 5. And in number 6 I make an increase 1. And 2. And I continue 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. And at number 6, I make an increase. This must be done until completed. All round. 1. 2, 3. 4, 5. And in stitch number 6 we do the increase. Here I have already finished this round. I make a slip stitch to close. A chain stitch, and I start with a single stitch. And here I am going to knit 3 chain stitches. I am going to pass this space without weaving in the one that follows. Single stitch. 3 chain stitches. I pass a stitch without knitting, and in the next one, single stitch. Trace chain stitches. I pass a stitch without knitting and in which single stitch follows. 3 chain stitches pass a stitch and the one following single stitch. And this until the entire round is completed. Here I am about to finish. This is how it turned out. It will fit here pleated. So a little pleated, don't worry. It's normal and it's going to settle. I'm going to knit a chain stitch. And a double crochet. On the single stitch. And then I will upload 3 chain stitches. And inside the double crochet I leave 2. Double crochet. And I'm going to move on to the arc that follows. And I make a single stitch. Trace chain stitches. Within this space, I leave 2 double crochets. I move on to the next arc. And I make the union with a single stitch. Again 3 chain stitches. In the same space dos double crochet. And a single stitch in the following space. This is how I will become. I repeat 3 chain stitches. Same space 1. 2 and 3 2 nothing more 2 2 double crochet Yora yes. I was already getting excited friends 1 2 and 3. And 2 double crochets in the same space. And single stitch thanks to all my friends. That like Irene. Valdivia decided to leave me a cough remedy. That has served me well. Thank you friend. And thanks to the other friends who also decided to leave me as I had asked you in a previous video. A home remedy for coughs. Thank you because I bring the flu. Oh my friends, very ugly. I will complete my entire round. And see how beautiful it looks. And if you got lost, the one for newborn babies up to 12 years of age. I leave links here in the first comment. If I forget, or in the description if I forget, let me know what you think. Okay, I will complete it. We will close here. Where is the double crochet? Con unslip stitch. And I'm going to slide 2 chain stitches up 1 2. And here I make a single stitch. 3 chain stitches I pass to where the chain stitches are. And here in the center between the chain stitches and the stitch, you unsingle stitch. Trace chain stitches. Single stitch. 3 chain stitches in the following single stitch space. This must be done until the entire round is completed. Then it will be a round of chain stitches and a round of motifs. It will be good but very easy and very fast. 3 chain stitches next single stitch space. Trace chain stitches y single stitch. Here to finish. I leave a stitch chain. And on the stitch. Under a double crochet. And I will make the change. De color. Here I am going to start. Passing. From here. Step. And I will knit 1 2 and 3 chain stitches. And here. I throw and ready I'm going to start. 1. In the same space. 2. And I'm going to leave him I think 3 stitches. High and I'm going to move on to the next space. You single stitch. And I repeat 3 chain stitches again. And 3 double crochet 1 2 3 and single stitch. Trace chain stitches. 1, 2, 3. Y single stitch. I will do this until I complete. Here to finish. I am going to make the union. Here is the double crochet with a slip stitch. But before doing this, I'm going to lift the strand in green. Y. Slip. In the one that follows I slide but put the strand here. To go up. Yora. I make a stitch. I'm down and here I have the strand. En color verde. I make 1, 2, 3 chain stitches and move on to the next space. I'm going to take this stitch 1, 2, 3 well. Next space. The detail was just how to go up. This thread to stay here and to be able to continue. Trace chain stitches. Single stitch. Trace chain stitches. And single stitch, if you look at it, is the same process. 3 chain stitches and here between one stitch and another. L single stitch. And I will do this until I complete my entire round. And I will repeat the same process. I am going here to make the closure. Here. I will close with a slip stitch. I'm going to stop by and I'm going to load this one. This one and make the color change. In this space, I'm going to start knitting a single stitch to get started. And 1, 2 and 3 chain stitches. In the same space we weave 3 double crochets. And I move on to the next space and do single stitch. Here I am going to leave this one in case I decide in this case. Change the color again or short and change again. I recommend you to check out this part here. It is obviously possible to tour, but I will recommend this time to make the color changes to be cut, yes. Then you can already experience it here therefore. What I am going to do is cut. And thus be able to start okay. Then we remove this pink. You have seen that it looks better. Cutting that, leaving this stitch here then. We are going to leave. Trace chain stitches and 3 double crochets if fixed is the same process. Next single stitch. 3 chain stitches and 3 double crochets in the same space. Who said easy? Yes, okay. Then friends at home, cheer up, there is. And I repeat. 3 fall like this. 3 double crochets in the same space. Until I complete my entire round. Here at the end, I am going to make the union with a single stitch. Con unslip stitch. I'm going to leave it in slip stitch. And I will upload. Con slip stitch. 2 and I start a single stitch. And 3 chain stitches. I repeated the same process. Of the rounds of chain stitches, 3 chain stitches. Y single stitch. Trace chain stitches, Y single stitch. So what we are going to be doing here is change the colors. But we will not change. The structure will remain 3 chain stitches. And with the color change, I'm going to advantage friends. They're at home. Let's see, here I left only 2, let's put 3 on it. I'm going to get a lit lead of myself. And I'm going back now, that easy out of the curve, and I'll tell you how many rounds I've left behind. In total, you think. Okay, at home. Leave a like if you would like more beautiful designs like this one. I will be waiting. Your comment and a like. I want to show you, friends, the advance that I already have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 rounds. This is how it is becoming. Let's stop by here. Let's continue with the rounds. But now I make a rod. 1 stitch, there is 1 single stitch, 2 chain stitches. To start, and I'm going to start knitting him. 1, 2, 3, Y 4 stitches, and the one I have here would be 5. I move on to the next space and use single stitch. Trace chain stitches. And within this space I will knit 4 double crochet ones. 2, 3. Y 4. And I'm going to move on to the next space. YU single stitch. And I will do this until I complete my round. And as we have already changed the numbering of the double crochets, it is also necessary to change the number of chain stitches. Yes, they are, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Single stitch round. I have already finished the round. What I'm going to do is here. I make a chain stitch and a single stitch to start. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. And I move on to the next space. 4 chain stitches. Next single stitch space. 4 chain stitches and single stitch, yes. Then it is the same. We will only add 4 chain stitches. And we will go as far as you need to go. How will we know that it is already ideal? To stay under your bust, yes. Let's cover the bust. And that's it, you can start separating the sleeve part. And this will apply to all sizes. I am not going to make any more increases. This is all the increase I made from here. From now on we will only lengthen. And ready to see you for the sleeve separation. I want to show you, friends, the progress I already have. In total I have left 22 centimeters, that would be 8 inches and a half. Yes, this is what it measures. Now you can leave him more or you can leave him less. This will depend on your tastes and needs. Then, it even covers me here. All the way down the bust and all the way down the bust. Okay. Now, let's do the following. Let's go this way. We are going to count on this occasion all these spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so everything in the round. Of the last round we will count them. In my case I am 76. Then let's divide them as follows. I have 76 reasons and I am going to divide them into 5. We are going to divide them by 5, then they are going to be equal to 15. Are those 76. I will divide them between 2. Y me va a dar un total de 38. These 15 stitches. I'm going to leave them for the sleeves here. We are going to make them more or less the kanisu. Y. This is going to be the part of the sleeves. So here we are going to leave you 15. On the other side I will leave you 15. And this is the second result. We will subtract it from the sleeves. Then here I am going to put 38 to 15. equal to 23. Yes, we are going to subtract those 15 from his sleeve so I know how much is what I'm going to get here at the front. The back will split where sewing begins. So yes, then it is divided between 2, then those 23. I will put them on to the front. This is going to be the front part. This is going to be the sleeve part. Yes, then to remove the front part we subtract the division of between 2. Because between 2. Because those 76 are divided between 2, which would be this part of here does. Or this part of here as you want to see it. But they are divided between 2, which is the front part. And the back. Then whatever remains. From here you will. The sleeve is divided, for example if we are dividing this part of here. We have a total of 76 stitches. Between 2 are 38. What would be this part of here be ours? 38, and on the other side we have 38. But at those 38, the 15 that are in the sleeve must be removed. To know how much we have to put here. And down here, yes. But that's the way it is, and the division goes then. So that we don't become bully-tossy at home. Or let's not get, yes, in this case let's not wallow. 76 among 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 parts, so it is divided by 5. And then the second is between 2. Which is the front part and the back part. And that is subtracted from the pair. The division of 2 is subtracted to the sleeve part, yes. Or rather, the sleeve part is subtracted like this, and the rest is the front side. We already put it here. Now this part of the front. We are also going to put it here below. We are entitled to 23. But we have to start. 232 will give us a 11.5. On one side I will put 11. And on the other side, as I have 1 stitch left over, on this side I will put 12. Which is the beginning of the garment and the end, yes, okay. We are all going to do this operation then. If you had enough to spare. We are all going to do this operation. Okay then. Let's start. To see. We will continue with the same amount, which are 4 chain stitches. I have not changed this. But now it is my turn to start with 11. I'm going to take them like this. 11, then 15, then 23. And then 15 and then 12, okay. Then let's start. Here I have 1, 2. 3. 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 9. 10. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. We already have those 11 here. Yora, I will do the following. To make the increases I am going to start knitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15. Everyone here will leave you the amount you need. Another of the things we can also do is, I think I'm going to leave it like this, 3 chain stitches. Passing from side to side. Here where the stitch is. And I make a double crochet. And here we are going to form like these little eyes. Or those spaces. 1, 2, 3 chain stitches. From side to side we make the second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we do the third one here, everyone will leave you whatever you need. Trace chain stitches. We make the fourth. And so I'm going to leave it with 4 hours. I'm going to pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 y 15. Unwoven spaces. And I'm going to move on to the next one and use single stitch. And here the sleeve is formed. Now let's see if I left those 15 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14 and 15 without knitting. Here is our sleeve. Yora correspond. 23 who are from the front. Then here. 3, 4 and without forgiveness 4. There. Morocco 1, 2. 3, 4 and I will continue like this until I am 23. I want to show you. Up to this point I already have that amount. We are going to count. Here we have already started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 y 23. And let's weave these I have here. Que son 4, 1, 2, 3 y 4. Okay, then let's knit them. We start 3 chain stitches. Here I have. Here I have 1 3 chain stitches. 2 3 chain stitches. 3 3 chain stitches and 4. And we are going to count 15 non-weaving spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 without weaving. And in which it follows. I make the single stitch. And I continue. Con single stitch. Here the other sleeve is already formed. Yes, we already have both sleeves. And I will continue. Look here, I have to be 12, remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, yes. Which are those on the back? I will complete them. I show you. We already have part of the sleeve, part of the front, and the following manga. Now let's start with the motive. Here in this part friends, and friends may leave you more or may leave you less. This depends on how you like it. If you like it looser you put them on. And you don't take them off and that's it. Let's continue. I'm going to pass and I'm going to slide. 1 2 chain stitches and here in the center. I leave a single stitch. I'm going to stop by here. To this space. I am going to leave them from here. No, yes, I will leave it here. I'm going to start 1 2 3 4 and 5 chain stitches. I pass here and you a single stitch. 1 2 3 4 5 chain stitches. I will leave you 4 4 chain stitches. And I make a single stitch here. And I am going to start placing marker. In those of 4 I will place a marker. This is not necessary. 5 chain stitches. I pass here in the middle and make a single stitch. 5 chain stitches. I pass here in the middle and you a single stitch. Already 1 2 2 of 5 and 1 of 4. and in which there are 4 chain stitches. I place marker. And I continue. 5 chain stitches. Half of the single stitch chain stitches. 5 chain stitches. Single stitch Y 4 chain stitches. And here single stitch and here. I place marker. Yes, then it will be 2 of 5 and 1 of 4. Again 1 2 3 4 5. In the middle I make a single stitch leaving 1. 5 chain stitches and here in the middle where those little eyes are. Here in the middle I make a single stitch. Yes, there are already 2 out of 5 and now I am entitled to 1 out of 4. And in the middle of the next eye, we make a single stitch and place a marker. Again. 1 2 3 4 5 chain stitches. Single stitch. 5 chain stitches. In the middle of the eyes or of the following single stitch eye, I have already had 2 out of 5 and now 1 out of 4. And in the space that follows single stitch. And so we knit under the arm and here. As there are already 4, here is another marker. I will do this until I complete my entire round. I want to show you, friends, look at. I am here to finish. And the sequence is 2 of 5s and 1 of 4s. But if I put it here, I have 2 out of 5 here. But here I would keep the 4. Then I need it or rather have enough to spare. So here in this case what can we do? Or 1 of 2 or we put it up to here. What would it look like? Look at this space like this. Yes, or what we can do is add one more reason. So what I'm going to do is add one more motive. I'm going back here to this space. I am entitled to the 1 of 4, but I'm going to put it where the single stitch is. To make an increase here. Then I do 1 2 3 3 4 5 and I'm going here in the middle. Here I have the first of 5 2 3 3 4 5, I'm going this far. And I already have the second of 5. Yes, you're you 1 2 3 4. And I put it here to make a second increase. There it is, then I already have the 4 2 of 5 the 4. And you have to put the 5. Here it is, here in the middle I put 1. Where are the 2 of 5? We do the 4. And here is the 4. I put the marker back in place. Look how I did it to get those yes. Here I had to, instead of putting it up to here, here I had to do it in the single stitch. To get this increase 2 out of 5. And 1 of 4 2 of 5 1 of 4 and 2 of 5 1 2 3 4 and 5. It happened here where I started. And I make a slip stitch, then I already have 4 2 of 5. And 4 yes, and this is what I had to do. To make the increases the rest is normal yes. Then it won't be seen much. And it is also on the back side. Now I will upload here. 1 and 2 chain stitches. Con slip stitch. And I make a single stitch to start here. I'm going to move on to where the marker is. I'm going to start now with round number 1. Let's knit a double crochet. 2 3 4. 5, 6, and 7, and I'm going to stop by here, where the chain stitches are. And I make a single stitch in here. I am going to place the marker on the first single stitch to locate where I started. Not necessary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I move on to the next arc and use a single stitch. And inside these here I'm going to spend marker withdrawal. And I start knitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y7. Double crochet. I'm going to stop by and make a single stitch. And I will have 5 chain stitches left. I move on to the next arc and make a single stitch. And in this one that follows, which is where the marker is the 4 chain stitch space. There we do all 7. Double crochet dose. 3, 4, 5, 6. Y7. Y. I make the union with a single stitch. 5 chain stitches. Next single stitch space and see how it looks like. This will be to complete the entire round. Here again we pass under the arm. I have a marker. And I do the 7 double crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 is. And in which single stitch follows. And I continue with 5 chain stitches. In which single stitch follows and Y. Again is the scoreboard. The marker tells me what to do. 7 double crochet, and here I am already working on the part under the arm. 3, 4, 5. 6 and 7 is and below single stitch. And this is how it stayed. Under the arm or under the sleeve. And I continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain stitches. Single stitch and again. The 7 double crochets. I will complete my entire round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And return. Once the round is completed, this is how it will look like. Yes, then what are we going to do? Let's see here. To close, I already have 2 chain stitches. I'm going to move on to where I have the marker. And I will knit a double crochet. So, I make a chain stitch and leave a single stitch that is going to be the single starting stitch. There it is. Now you 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5 chain stitches. I'm going to stop by a double crochet without knitting in next to a stitch. Under 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. I'm going to stop by 1, 2, 3 stitches without knitting, and in number 4. I make a single stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain stitches. I pass here halfway through and use a single stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain stitches. I'm going to stop by. Here is an unwoven stitch followed by single stitch. And as we are above here, we make the 4 chain stitch. If you notice, we are repeating the first round, then the same in this round of arcs. We can call it round number 1, and it is double crocheted. We can call it round number 2. Here I pass 1, 2, 3, and in number 4 I make a single stitch. And I continue with 1 2 3 4 and 5 chain stitches single stitch. 2 3 4 5 chain stitches. I pass a stitch without knitting and in the one that follows. Single stitch yes. And this must be repeated. 4 chain stitches. Step 1 2 3 and number 4. Single stitch if you look here as well. I have 1 stitch left. 1 2 3 4 5 chain stitches. On chain stitches single stitch 1 2 3 4 5 chain stitches. I pass a stitch without knitting. Single stitch 4 chain stitches. Because we are above the double crochet ones. Step 1 2 3 and stitch number 4. Single stitch 1 2 3 4 5 chain stitches. On single stitch chains. 2 to C. I'm going to take out a little bit of material. 3 4 5. Step by step and repeat single stitch aura follows the one of 4. 1 2 3. Why single stitch 1 2 3 4 5. And single stitch if you look at friends look at. So that you can see it at home, here is a to 5 1 to 4 2 to 5 1 to 4 2 to 5 1 to 4 2. Of 5 1 of 4 2 of 5 and 1 of 4. And so I will complete. I want to show you here I am about to finish. This is how it's looking on me. And to close I am going to make 2 chain stitches. I have already finished the round of bows. Yora I have to do the double crochet round. Here I pass where the single stitch is. I leave a double crochet. So Yora in this part. Well, we are not going to do the following. I'm going to go all the way there to start anyway 3 4 and 5. Chain stitches I'm going to this space. To start off just like in past rounds. I make 1 2 stitches. And here in the middle you place a single starting stitch. Marker if you need it and do not leave it without marker. And this is where I start. Where all 4 are. Chain stitches attach 7 double crochet. 2 3 4 5. 6 y 7. I move on to the next arc and do single stitch 5 chain stitches. 3 4 5. And here I make a single stitch at the next junction. And that's how it's going to look at me. Now I come by here to where the 4 chain stitches are and we make 1 2 3 4. 5 6 y. 7 double crochet. 2 4 6 7 and here we do. Single stitch. And again 1 2 3 4 5. We make a single stitch and here we make 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 2 4 6 7. 1 2 3 4 and 5 and here I do. Again single stitch yes. This must be done until completed. All round. It is true that it is easy friends and friends, not man yes. Here we are going to be weaving. Friends but very nice. Very quickly. We are done friends we are done. 2 4 6 y 7. Y single stitch. On the following chain stitches. Well, we have to finish the round, do you think? Okay if you are liking it. Leave a like if you want mores. Leave a like if you are not subscribed. Friend, don't leave without subscribing, it's free. Activate the notification bell, which is also free, but if you would like to support my channel, then click here, where it says join and become Gold Crochet and enjoy its benefits. I will complete and return. I want to show you, friends, look, I'm done. This round, which you know we were repeating. This round of double crochets. Now I will repeat the previous round, which is the chain stitch. For this I will go through in this case. 1, 2, we are going to leave 2 chain stitches on this occasion. I'm going to bring it a little closer. Yes, one, you know we slide one on one, we slide the chain stitches, and in this round we make 2. And we stop by and we weave the stitch. So double crochet is the only thing we have to do when we go to knit. In this case the double crochet round. Slide 2 stitches and make the single stitch. And when it's our turn to weave the round of the, in this case, the pure chain stitches that are being made, which is this case, we start with closing with 2 chain stitches, a double crochet to fit here. In this space, single stitch is the only requirement to get started, okay? Then from here I make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain stitches. I pass a stitch without knitting and you single stitch. Is the only thing we have to do to start from here the 5 stitches. Yes, and everything else is 1, 2, let's see, I'll take this one well. Esta chain stitch 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3 and here in the following single stitch. 5 chain stitches and here half single stitch 5 chain stitches. And I pass a stitch and in the one that follows, single stitch. 1, 2, 3 and here we do the single stitch. Yes, then if they look at it is okay. Nothing more, this is the only thing what we have to look for. A round is over. Double crochet round slide. And end with 2 chain stitches. And the double crochet and the one that follows starts with single stitch. And chain stitches are okay. As it is, what I am going to do is to advance as much as you need. 1, 2, 3, 4 and in a little while longer I will be back. Another one of the things I am going to tell you about. If someone likes, make it wider at the hips. Change their hook to 3.5 millimeters. Okay is the only thing about to be of the without of finishing the waist towards the hip and be a little wider. I'll go then and see you to see the final result. Now how much is on this occasion what measures? How long I left him at home? For you to observe, I left from here to here about 30 and 34 centimeters. 33 centimeters 33. Que son 13 pulgadas y. The total length, let's see how long the total length is. Let's see. From here to here. Measure 61. 61 and I think that with the round we give it about 62 to 60 and 3 centimeters. Approximately. But at home remember, friends, customize it, okay? Now let's bring it closer to give him the last round. I have already finished the round of the chain stitches, look at them. This round here of the chain stitches here I follow. I need only 4 here, 5, 5, 4. As appropriate. And I changed the 5.5 hook. In how many rounds I changed it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds I did. Of double crochet motifs, yes, and we will continue as follows. I'm going to stop by here properly. Start and let's knit 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 6 and 7 happen to me. I make the union with a single stitch. And I move on to the next one and you one too. 3, 4. 5, 6, Y, 7. Double crochet and I pass. Here in the middle and I do single stitch and continue. In which it follows, 1 if you look at it we are not making chain stitch. 2, 3. 4, 5. 6, 7, Y. Next single stitch we are going to do this to complete our entire round, and here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Y single stitch. I will complete my entire round. I want to show you. I have already finished. This is how it turned out. The final result at the bottom. And here we only make the union with a stitch. Deslizado. Here we cut. We make a stitch chain. And we are going to lose the little piece of material that has remained. In this case I recommend, friends, weave it with a light material. If you prefer that it remains in this case with that can be woven in smaller quantities of material then. In my case, because as I want it in, well, isn't it? Most of our friends was trying to get alike. That means they did want to. The sleeve part then. Thanks to those friends who left alike. Let's start with the sleeve part. To make the part of the sleeves I am going to make the following. Let's start here. I'm going to make the left stitch at the bottom. Then here I begin. To start with, for example, here you can see that this is the beginning. On the back, I'm going to start from the back. I will continue with DO hook 3.5 millimeters. And then I can change it. I make a single stitch and start knitting it in this case. 1, 2, 3 Y 4 chain stitches. I will be weaving 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. Next single stitch space. 4 chain stitches, next single stitch space. And so on until completion. All round. I show you that I am about to finish the round. Here I am going to come here to this space. And instead of weaving it here I am going to weave it here in the middle. And I make a single stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. I am going to spend this reason this. And I move on to the next one. And I leave a single stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. I'm going to pass on this motif I have here. And in the one that follows I leave single stitch. This is how it will stay. And I will make 2 chain stitches. And I close. Let's try to make it fit. There at home, try to make it fit. We make a chain stitch and start with a single stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 chain stitches, and I go through half of the chain stitches. You unsingle stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches, and here we do the single stitch here in this part. Remember what you are going to do. 2 of 5 and 1 of 4, but at the beginning you start with just one more. 1 of 5 and then there is the 1 of 4 or 2 of 5. Here is the first one. One we are going to be hitting or joining half of the chain stitches, leaving 1 of 5. This is the second of 5. And here we have the 4. Here we put again the fan part. Now 1 2 3 4 5. And I come by and do single stitch. 1 2 3 4 5 and here I go and do single stitch 1 2 3 4. And here we do the fan part again. Same process I did here. I will do it here only. That here we are going to try to make it fit. Of which block, and that will be the main objective. Entonces es de 5 de 4 2 de 5 1 de 4 2 de 5 1 de 4. Here is one of 5. 2 of 5 1 2 3 and 4 here we have the one of 4. Yes, and we repeat again 2 3 4 5. Here is the first 1 2 3. For 5 here is the second. 1 2 3 and 4 here. We make the single stitch. We are already approaching the bottom, friends, to make the picture. Remember that it is a multiple of 3. So here we already have the 4 right. 1 2 3 4 hours or 2 of 5 2 3 4 5. Here we make 1 2 3 4 5 here we do. The second 1 euro we do the 4 3 4 I is. And I pass here. And this already defines everything. Okay, and the bottom part already defines everything because here I have this. Which is 1 2 3 4, but here, my friends. Here I need to have 1 no more than 5. Yes, because it is the single stitch then. What am I going to do here? I have enough, friends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this space. I spend it here. I make a single stitch. Yes, 1 2 3 4. I pass here in the middle. Look how this one will look on me. Space, but since it is under the arm, it will not be noticeable. Yes, and here we do. I already have the 4 euro follows the 5 euro. But I close here with a double crochet. A chain stitch and a single stitch, yes it is. Then we already have this whole square part. I'm going to show you. Let's move on here to this part. And we are going to start knitting 2 of them like this. 3 4 5 6. And here 7 and I come by and do a single stitch. And then 1 2 3 4 5 chain stitches. Single stitch, and again we are going to do 1 2. Three we are doing the same below, friends. 4 5 6. And 7. So why am I doing it this way without cuts? And with nothing to K at home? Our friends who left more reasons can also do so. And depending on how much they have left, see if you look at them. If you set how it looks at the bottom is the arm part. Yes, under the armhole it will not be noticed. It will not be seen, then you can continue it here. And from now on it would be knit the same stitch, yes. But first I'm going to give him the round without cuts. Commercial. 2 3 4. For you to see. Okay, how I picture everything at home is what we are going to do. Try to fit us with a multiple of 3. 2 4 6 7, there it is, and here we do single stitch 1 2 3 4 5. And single stitch goes. And then here is 1 2 3 4 5 6 2 4 6 7 2 4 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5. That's okay. And so 1 2 3 4 5 6 y 7. And then we make the union. And here 1 2 3 4 5. And in the following space, single stitch, and we are about to finish round, friends. We are going to finish, and we are going to finish our friends. Here we make 1 2 3 4 5 6 y 7. And here I make the union with a single stitch. And this is how it will look like. And we end with 2 chain stitches and a double crochet. Here I end. I make a single stitch, 5 chain stitches, and start the chain stitch part. If you notice, then everything is fine here. From now on, well, let's continue as we did in the part below. If you missed the part of part 1 or part 2 of this beautiful project, I invite you to click below. Where is the title? Click below, it says more. Here you will find the previous parts. And remember, friends, whenever you see a video from my Bless End Crochet channel is complete only, you have to look below the title where it says more. Click on it and you will find part 1, part 2, or in the parts that are divided our project. But if we started here, here we finish it. Okay, well then, friends, I will take advantage of the length I need if I want to make my cuff smaller. Another one of the things we can do, if, for example, you find it difficult to do the part of the decreases, is knit it with 3mm hook. Yes, I am using the 3.5, but you can knit with the one on the 3, and that's it. Good. 1 2 3 4. Single stitch. It's the same process. I'm going to get a lit lead of myself, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like with sleeves. If I make any modification, return also. I will put the same ending in the sleeve part as I did here at the bottom, you think. Okay, I'll be back to show you. I want to show you, friends, and how the final result has turned out with the sleeve part. For the sleeve, because I left the same stitch, and at the bottom as well, the same stitch we had left for the part of the hip, and with this I end up this beautiful. And remember, if you missed part number 1 or number 2, will appear below. Where is the title? Click below on the word more. There you will find yourself los vídeos previous. I say goodbye as usual with this. I really hope you enjoyed it. If they liked it, friends, support me by sharing on social networks with their relatives, with his friends, in your Facebook groups. And see you in an upcoming video. And thank you very much for joining me today. By the way, you want mores? Then leave a like for me to see it. And thank you for subscribing and the bell of notifications. I'm Maria Rolón. You are on my Bless End Crochet channel. And see you in an upcoming video.